Hello and welcome to the Elite YJ. My name is Reese, and today I'm giving you a bit of a remote duel breakdown slash recap slash report, I guess you would call it. Today we played a 4-round remote duel locals, and I played the most janky Salamangreat Dogmatika deck I think you've ever seen. It's very heavily inspired by the OCG and how they kind of play this deck. You might be surprised with how little Salamangreats we actually play, but I think the deck was cool. It performed really well. I ended up going 3-1. We only did 4 rounds. My only loss was to Dragon Link, but I put up a pretty damn good fight. I also faced Dino Combo. I'm not sure what you would call it. Kadir will be doing a deck profile of that very shortly. He did okay too. Then I played Steph with Dogmatika. No, he actually wasn't playing Dogmatika. He was playing Sacred Beast. But I think I crushed his spirit, so he scooped, I think, a bit preemptively there. And then what was my other matchup? My other matchup was against Invoked Dogmatika. So a lot of Dogmatika in today's locals, but that's cool. This deck is straight fire, and I hope, well, no pun intended with all the fire type attributes, but I hope you enjoy the video. So, with that being said, let's get on with the deck profile. With the main deck, we've changed it up a bit. We played 3 Lady Debug now. With the lack of Salamangreat monsters we play now, you kind of want a card that'll instantly access them. Where Buffalo, which I was considering, turns out you don't have that many Cyberse monsters to discard off him, and I didn't want to rely too much on going into Abyss Dweller before doing my Dogmatika combos. It seemed a bit luxurious and a bit too, I don't know, it's just a bit too extreme in my opinion. So Lady Debug is absolutely the best normal summon, and it's the only real relevant one this deck plays. So yep, this card's insane. For the salad monsters, we play 1 Gazelle, 1 Jaguar, 1 Foxy, 1 Fowl, 1 Spinny. That's it. Yep, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. I don't know how I did so well with this deck. Granted, it was just a small remote duel locals, but honestly, like, I saw the cards when I needed them, and Call by the Grave is that one we did play with the new ban list, but I didn't play Harpy's Feather Duster, which is the only thing I would have changed in the deck. But with Call by being at 1, I guess you don't have to worry about these getting like banished off that as much. It did happen once, but honestly, like, the other cards carry themselves pretty well. And the Dogmatika cards kind of carry this engine pretty strong as well. So overall, this engine was enough. You could arguably bump some of these up if you wanted to, but I wanted to try something different, kind of do what OCG does. I've noticed a lot of lists play one of the everything. In fact, they kind of cut this and play Foul instead, which is interesting. But Foxy, you know, pops there could be only 1 and Mystic Mines, so I found that more valuable than just a random extender that does nothing once it's used. That's it for the salad monsters, but it's not it for the Cyberse monsters because we play 3 Parallel Exceed. You know what the deal is with this card. The only thing this really does make is Abyss Dweller, but it unironically helps you link climb too because there's no real restriction to this card. This card is one of the best cards ever printed, if you ask me. For the Dogmatikas, 3 Ecclesia. I was testing 1, literally just 1, 1, 1, everything, but I kind of realized that once you play such a little Salamangreat cards, you kind of want more of these, and I think these are just more value drawing them. And it's okay to draw multiples, I guess, because you can just like summon 1 and just use it as like an extender, so it's not too bad. This card's insane. Just searches everything really. And then just the 1 Fleur-de-Lis and the 1 Maximus. I was playing 2 in my previous list, if you watched it, but now I'm just playing 1. Hand traps, self-explanatory, 3 Ash. We add this one back, so we played at 3 because it literally is the best hand trap, and this deck runs it the best. So Ash is nuts. 3 Gamma and the 1 Driver. This is really good. This kind of helps you helps you beat your opponent single-handedly, because some combo decks, and not all of them. I mean, when I versed Dragon Link, I had Ash and Gamma, and it still wasn't enough. But granted, he did say I was not going to win when he saw his opening hand, so it is what it is. But yeah, Gamma's like sometimes strong enough to just end an opponent's turn on its own. So this card it really overperformed. And then 3 impermanents again. Against Kadir, I think I drew all 3 by turn 5. He wasn't very happy. But yeah, this card's just nuts. No need to explain it. Onto spells. We play the one of Sanctuary, the one of Circle, and the one of Will. I cut Will down to 1. I was playing 3, but again, I just didn't find it super necessary, and honestly, like, it stays on the field long enough that you can just abuse the crap out of it anyway. And I suppose worst case scenario, you can just add it back if it gets to that point. So I think one of all of them is fine. I mean, you should probably play this at 3. This card's broken. Don't take that seriously. 3 Silent Mining is like the best card in the deck, unironically, because it searches all your salad cards. I know we played less salad cards, so you really do got to maximize the Silent Minings. I mean, there's just no reason not to play 3. By the way, Konami, bring Circle back to 2. Okay. 3 Nadir Servant. This, with, like, if you draw this with, like, you know, some form of a, like, combo, whether it be, like, set Raw, set Rage, and, like, Sunlight Wolf on the field, paired with this, chances are you're probably not going to lose, because you usually end up on, like Winder, Fleur-de-Lis with a negate, and then back row with a negate, and then your cards are protected anyway, so, yeah. I think this deck performs at its best with these cards, but that's just my opinion. The card that basically won me all my matches today was 3 Mystic Mine. Granted, this was not my idea. I've actually noticed a lot of people have been playing Mystic Mine in the deck now because, again, the deck is a bit slower than it used to be. And Mystic Mine is, like, so hard to out, and people aren't super prepared for it yet, which is... it's cool, nonetheless, but... against Invoke Dogmatika, in our best of 3... we only played 2. I 2-0'd him. I activated a total of 6 Mystic Mines. It's not like I activated, I don't know, like 1 Mystic Mine and sat on it for 6 turns. Nope. I activated all 6. I would just, like, activate it. He would, you know, I would gain resources, think I could push, activate something over it, and then I just happen to have another one, so if my players get stopped, I would just activate the other one. So, yeah, 6 Mystic Mines in 2 games. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. For them, not for me. Traps, Punishment, and Schism, Raw, and Rage. That's all you need. That's all you should desire. Punishment is really broken. I actually never resolved this card because I was always searching Fleur-de-Lis. Schism I activated a lot, provided I did the combo correctly. Not correctly, but if I wanted to push for it, like going for Maximus. There were some matches where I didn't know what my opponent was playing, and I would go Maximus, and I would actually get punished for it, so it made me a bit more cautious with Maximus. And these 2 are just nuts. I'd love to play 3 of each, but they're just hard once per turn, and it makes it a bit more awkward. Before we start this extra deck, I'd like to give a quick shout out to nikij.com.au. Use promo code ELITE5 at checkout whenever you make a purchase, because you will get a 5% discount anytime you wish. Also, they ship overseas. So if you're international and you're outside of Australia, which some of you may be, it's fine, because you will get your cards from nikij.com.au. And with that being said, let's get on with the extra deck. I love that catchphrase so much. 3 Balinks. 3 Sunlight Wolf. Very standard. Don't need to explain those. They're all the solid cards. We don't play Pyro Phoenix. We don't play... I mean, I wish I could play Pyro Phoenix. We don't play Heat Leo. It's just, like, not necessary in a mixed build. If you're playing pure, you could definitely play Heat Leo. In fact, it's highly recommended you play Heat Leo. But in this build, you can even argue that you can cut, like, Sunlight Wolf down to 2. Honestly, I never used the 3rd one. This was always getting put back. So if you wanted room for, like, I don't know, other niche cards, you could definitely consider it. I was testing, like, Red Eyes Dragoon in the deck, but not only do I feel like you can't splash that deck in everything, because I don't know. I can't play that card in something that's less than 60 cards. I'm just sick of drawing the garnets. I still play the Update Jammer, Transcode, and Access Code package. I am proxying it now because Steph made me give his back. So, but it was cool. Everyone at the remote locals were cool with it. We usually allow proxies anyway. I think I want to test the Splash Mage though, because Splash Mage is like, it accesses this quicker. It does turn off the fact that this can OTK on its own because you can't attack twice, but Splash Maids at least makes it so it's a 1-card access code talker. And this combo always got negated. Every time I tried to push for it, it always get negated. Like I would go, I don't know, this, and then they would just negate this. Or if I got to this point, they would like, I mean, it got flowed at least once, and then it loses its attack. But it managed to stay on the field, so I just pop his whole field and win anyway. So it didn't matter. Jeez, that sounded real cocky. Fusions, Cyclone, Winder, Construct. I actually made Construct at one stage just to add an unbeatable monster. But usually you use the Construct in your Maximus combo, so I was in a situation where like I couldn't go that far. So I did have the Construct in my extra deck. So it did come up, but not very often. Usually you're just going like, you know, Cyclone, add and discard Schism, and then send the Construct to add it back. And then Titanic Lad and the Enters, these are basically just your, you know, Nadir Servant targets. And sometimes if they Maximus you, at least you have like a search and a free pop out of it. So that's really neat. And then just the Abyss Dweller. Again, this is like a flex spot. I just think Abyss Dweller is the best extra deck monster right now because it pairs really well with your Maximus. So it's got that really big synergy. And, you know, some decks are graveyard reliant, especially Dragon Link. Dragon Link can get really hurt by this sometimes. Because it's a tournament report, kind of. I'll show you this side deck. This is very irrelevant though, because obviously depending on what you're going to be playing, you'll change accordingly. Two of Vector Veiler, never sided this in. In fact, a lot of these cards are never sided in. I kind of just liked how the deck was built as was, because it could go first and second, so I very rarely sided any of these in. 3 Nibiru, this did come up against Dragon Link, because I did side it in, never saw it, in fact never saw this card in general, so these 5 may as well not have played them. This is the best card in my side deck, 3 Forbidden Droplets. I'll explain to you what I did to Kadir. Basically, my opening hand was, it was Droplet, Gazelle, Circle, Spinny, and then like one other card, which I didn't think mattered. Basically, I saw the hand and I just told Kadir, you ain't winning, bro. You ain't winning. And he didn't understand why. He kept thinking I had like Dark Ruler evenly, but it wasn't the case. I would just go draw phase, activate, Circle. He tried to Abyss Dweller me. He had 2 negates on field. I just go Droplet, send the Circle, send the Spinny, negate his 2 monsters, summon Gazelle because Spinny was sent to grave, proceed to just destroy his face. It was absolutely gorgeous. 3 Cosmic Cyclone, because unlike everyone else, I am prepared for Mystic Minds. As much as I hate the card, I gotta respect it, and obviously I was playing it, so I can't play the card and not respect the card simultaneously. It just doesn't work like that. Triple Tactics Talent, this card is like, I mean, everyone's hyping this card right now because Call by the Grave got limited, but honestly, this card is just inherently more broken because if you get full comboed and then like you can just play through negates, this can just steal Red Eyes Dragoon and then you just pop your opponent's whole field. It's just bonkers, dude. Fun thing about Mystic Mine, actually, I forgot to mention this, but there was like times where you would just like, you know, play cards and get them negated, play this, get it negated, and then just Mystic Mine them. And I did win a lot of game 1s just by activating Mystic Mine, and they would just scoop. It was fun because it wasn't happening to me. And then the 2 Lightning Storms. I mentioned this in my last Remote Duel report thing. I would never side this again. I only played this because I couldn't be bothered building another side deck. I couldn't be bothered finding anything else. I couldn't be bothered finding my Dark Rulers. Probably would have played those. Maybe like Red Reboot, because Red Reboot's unironically the best card in the game right now, especially against Dogmatika and Pank. So if I could be bothered looking for them, this would be Reboot and Pank, 150%. But that's literally it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was very quick. Thank you for watching. You should probably hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We are very close to 200 in under 2 months. I know it's not like a massive number and it's not the quickest amount of time, but truth be told, after all the YouTube accounts I've made in my time, and trust me, there have been a lot, this has just grown the quickest, and I am super proud of everyone here at the Elite YGO. I'm super proud of everyone who's been willing to be a part of it. And yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya next time.